linear equation in two variables. The word linear you studied in polynomial. Linear means polynomial having degree 1. Now there is only one variable. Now here we are using two variables. Let the variables are x and y. And both of that variables having power 1. Here some examples are written. 3x plus 2y, x raised to 1, y raised to 1. So power of both of the variables are 1. That is why the word linear. Now what are the importance of this linear equation in two variables? In general we will write the linear equation in two variables as ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. You see that x and y are variables with the degree 1. That is why it is linear as well as equation, because equated to a number. Equation means equated to a number. So this is the general form of a linear equation in two variables. What are its importance is, it represents a straight line with infinite solution. If we are drawing its graph, we will get a straight line which will contain infinite solution. Infinite solution means the values of x and y which makes LHS equal to RHS. For example, 3x plus 2y is equal to 6 is a line, I mean straight line, in which 0, 3 is a solution, means x value is 0 and y value is 3. If you are putting here 3 into 0, that is 0, plus 2 into 3, 6. So LHS is 6, RHS also 6. Similarly, x to y 0, 3 into 2, 6 plus 0 is equal to 6. X 0, y 0. Similarly, x minus 1, y 9 by 2. We can get a lot of solutions. Solution means the values of x and y makes the LHS is equal to RHS, or we will say in short, the values of x and y satisfies the equation. Now, the second point, in ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, that is in the general form, if a is equal to 0, then it means there is no terms of x. If a is 0, there is no term of x. Then that means only y term will be there. Then all such lines will be parallel to x-axis. All such lines will be parallel to x-axis. Here you see there is no x term, y equal to 3. Here also no x term. None of these equations having no x term. If we are drawing these lines are always parallel to x-axis. That I will show you in the next section with the help of figures. Now in the previous case, how these solutions we are finding, as I told you, there are infinite solutions. Now for finding a solution, you use any value of x. X is equal to any number. Simplifying, you will get y. Or y is equal to any number, we get x. You can put any x is equal to 5, x is equal to 8, and x is equal to 1 by 2. Any number, even irrational number also you can use here. So correspondingly we will get y, or put any value of y, you will get correspondingly x. That's a method of finding a solution. Infinite solutions are possible, that is why. Now here in the second case, once again, in this case as I told, a equal to 0 means there is no x terms, lines parallel to x-axis. Means these all lines are parallel as well as they all will be parallel to x-axis. These two lines are also parallel, these two are also parallel, all will be parallel to x-axis. Similarly, if b is equal to 0 means there is no terms of y, then such lines are parallel to y-axis. The term which is missing, it will be parallel to that. Previous case, x was missing, so parallel to x-axis. In this case, y is missing, so parallel to y-axis. Some of the examples, x is equal to 2, no term of y. Here also no term of y. None of this contains a term of y. So all such lines, if we are drawing, it will be parallel to y-axis as well as the lines are parallel. These two lines, all these lines are parallel and parallel to y-axis. Similarly, in this, if c is equal to 0, means a and b present, but c is equal to 0, there is no constant term, then all such lines will pass through the origin. It will pass through 0, 0, or we can say if there is no constant term, 0, 0 is always a solution. If you are putting x 0, y 0, always LHS is equal to RHS. Here also you see x is equal to y, no constant term. X plus y is equal to 0, no constant term. 3x plus 5y equal to 0. So none of this contains a constant term. So all such lines will pass us through origin, or we can say 0x 0 y 0 always satisfy LHS equal to RHS, or we can say always satisfy the equation. Now, there are few questions written. I took one of the point 3k minus 1 comma 5k. It's a coordinate point. Is a solution. Is a solution means if you are putting x is equal to this and y is equal to this, LHS is equal to RHS. Now I put x is equal to 3k minus 1 plus y is equal to 5k. So 3k plus 5k, 8k minus 1 by go to the right hand side, you will get k is equal to 1. Another question, if 2x minus 3y is equal to 4 passes through this point. Passes through means you can put x as 3a by 2 and y as minus 1. Find a. So I am putting here 2 into in the place of x 3a by 2 minus 3 into in the place of y I put minus 1 is equal to 4 because here already 4 was there. So I use that. Simplify 3a is equal to 1, a equal to 1 by 3. Similarly, one more minus 3, 4 is the solution of this. Put x as minus 3 and y as 4. Simplify, you will get that p is equal to minus 25. Few graphs are drawn, linear equation, way to variable. All the graphs will be straight line. The first question is draw the graph of 2x minus 3y is equal to 6. This is the first graph. This is the first graph. Now for that I made a table. I put the values of x and y in such a way that both of them can be assumed very easily in the coordinate geometry. I put x is equal to 0. If I am putting x is equal to 0, this part will be 0, y will become minus 2, and y equal to 0 if I am using, then x will become 3. So 2 points is enough to draw a line. We can find out infinite number of solutions, but is 2 points is more than enough to draw a line. 2 well-defined points which we can very easily mark on the coordinate geometry. I took 0, minus 2. 0, minus 2 is studied in coordinate geometry in y-axis, that is this point is 0, minus 2, y-axis, and 3, 0 is on x-axis. This is the point 3, 0. Though join that two lines and extend both sides, you will get the name of the line 2x minus 3y equal to 6. We may find out infinite solutions again by putting different values of x or y. Now second graph, this one. This is the line, draw x is equal to y, this is that. So I made here also table x0, y0, this is the point, and x1, y also 1. So this is the point. Join that and produce, you will get y is equal to x. We can find out a lot of solution here also. Now the third question, draw these two lines in the same graph. Draw x plus 1 equal to 0, y equal to 2. We know that x plus 1 equal to 0, there is no y term, means it will be parallel to y axis. So x plus 1 0 means x is equal to minus 1. So x is equal to minus 1 is this. A line you draw parallel to y axis. This is our y axis. Line is drawn parallel to y axis. That is x is equal to minus 1. Similarly, there is no term of x. It will be parallel to x axis. Y is equal to 2. This is 2. This is y is equal to 2. At 2 you draw a line. We can value here also a lot of points. The importance of these points, I didn't make a table here because parallel to x axis and parallel to y axis not required any table. If you want to write a solution here on x axis, on line x is equal to minus 1. The line x is equal to minus 1. Here x remains always minus 1. Means if I am making a table for x plus 1 equal to 0, if I am making a table x and y. Now y is not there, but even though we can write x remains minus 1, y can be any number, x always remains minus 1. You can write y is equal to 0, x minus 1, y equal to 2, x minus 1, y is equal to 10, means x always remains same, y can be any number. Similarly, if I am drawing the table for y is equal to 2, x and y, here y always remains 2, here y always remains 2, and x can be any number. So since one term is missing, we are not required to make the table. If we want to make the table, it is possible. Means whatever the value is given, that remains constant and other term will vary. Here also like that. Y remains 2 in all the cases. That's the third equation. And this point is common to both of that. That is x is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 2. That is a common point to both of these two. The fourth graph is draw the graph of 3x plus 4y is equal to 5. Here problem is if I am putting x is equal to 0, I will not get a well defined point. Means that the point cannot be marked properly. Because x is 0, 5 by 4 you cannot mark exactly. Similarly y is 0, 5 by 3 cannot be marked properly. So that is why I took some point in different trial and error method I tried. And when I am putting x minus 1, this minus 3 will go right side. So it will come 8. So 4y equal to 8, y will become 2. Similarly, x is equal to 5. If I am putting 5 into 3, 15. When it is going to the right hand side, so there is some mistake here. 1 minute, I will make and show you. There was some mistake in the calculation, now that I made it correct now. So x is equal to minus 1, y equal to 2, x of 5, y is equal to minus 5 by 2. That 2 points are able to mark it. Minus 1 comma 2 is in the second quadrant and 5 comma minus 5 by 2 is in fourth quadrant. Both I marked and join. You will get the line 3x plus 4y is equal to 5. There are one or two more questions. So before that, there are two important notes: x-axis or abscissa, which we learned in coordinate geometry. Its equation is y equal to 0. Y equal to 0 is same as x-axis or abscissa. Similarly, x is equal to 0 is same as y-axis or coordinate. Now there is a variable. The auto fare in a city is rupees 15 for the first kilometer, and for subsequent kilometer rupees 10 per kilometer. Take distance as x and total fare as y. Write a linear equation. So what's the meaning of that question? First of all, we see. Here I will show you what's the meaning of that. If you are traveling only up to 1 kilometer, 15 rupees is compulsory. That means if you are traveling 100 meter or 200 meter or 500 meter or 900 meter or up to 1 kilometer, you have to pay rupees 15. Now if you are traveling more, second kilometer, this is for 1 kilometer. If you are traveling subsequent, means after that if you are traveling, each kilometer you have to pay 10 rupees for additional. Means suppose you are traveling 1 more kilometer, then you have to pay 10 more. Means for 2 kilometer you have to pay 25. 3 kilometer if you are going, then you have to pay 10 plus 15. Means first kilometer you have to pay 15 plus whatever the additional kilometer are there, that minus 1, because 1 is already here. So 1 kilometer we already paid here. So remaining 2 kilometers 20. For example, suppose for 15 kilometers, 15 to be paid for the first kilometer. Now 15 minus 1, that is 14 remaining. 14 for the remaining, total 155 will come. And so that's the meaning of the question. Now we wrote the equation of that. This is the total fare. So this y is equal to 15, that is for the first kilometer. Now total distance traveled is x. You have to reduce 1 from it because 15 already for first kilometer we paid 15. So that you reduce from here and multiply by 10. For the first kilometer is rupees 15. For the remaining, that is subsequent kilometer, for each kilometer, that is 10. That is why 1 is reduced from there. 15 plus x minus 1 to 10. Simplifying 10x minus y plus 5 equals 0. Suppose you are traveling for 10 kilometer, you may put it here or here, you will get the same answer. Suppose for 10 kilometer, 15 for the first kilometer, remaining 9. 9 into remaining 9 into 10, that is 10 plus 100 plus 10 into 10, 100. 100 plus 15, 105. You may put here also for 10 kilometer, put x is equal to 10. Here also you will get y is equal to 105. Anywhere you put the same. Now for 25 kilometer, this 15 plus 24 into 10, 255. You may put it x is equal to 25 here also. Another question, a lending library has a fixed charge for the first 3 days and an additional charge for each day thereafter. If x is the fixed charge and y as the additional charge, write a linear equation. So their meaning also I will explain. What's the meaning of this question? Library is saying that for the first 3 days you have to pay a fixed charge. For example, library says that for the first 3 days you have to pay rupees 5. That you may keep it for 1 day, then also you have to pay rupees. For 5 you have to pay. For 2 days also 5, 3 days also 5. So for the first 3 days rupees 5, and the remaining suppose you kept it for 10 days, and he is telling that for additional days you have to pay plus rupees 2 per each day, suppose 2 per each day, 2 per day. Then this 5 is for the first 3 days plus 10 days you are keeping, then 10 minus 3, why 3 is not, this 5 is for the first 3 days and you multiply by 2. Means 5 plus 14, 19 rupees you have to send. So whatever you are paying here, there, just like the first case, for the first kilometer, 1 kilometer 15. Here for the first 3 days it is 5. Just like that is written. Now let us see what is the question. Library says there is a first 3 days a fixed charge and additional charge therefore thereafter. If x is the fixed charge and y as the additional charge, write a linear equation. So Sanil paid rupees 50. So you have to write a linear equation for Sanil for 12 days. So this 50 he paid. How he paid? Fixed charge, that is x. It is already given x is the fixed charge. This x is for 3 days. Now 12 days total he kept. So for 3 days he paid here. Remaining 12 minus 3 into y. 12 minus 3 After that in y additional jar after that. 12 minus 3 into y, that is equal to 50. Simplifying x plus 9y equal to 50. And second equation, Shashank paid rupees 27 for 7 days. So x plus, this is for 3 days. Now 7 minus 3 into y, and this x plus 4y is equal to 27. Like that questions you expect in the examination. Write the following in the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, and hence find ABC. This equation you have to write in this form. So means right hand side you have to keep 0 and all other terms you have to bring in the left side. So 3x plus 4y minus 9 equal to 0. A is the coefficient of x, whatever is written with x. X, that is A, whatever is written with y, that is B, and the number which is alone written is C. So A equal to 3, B is equal to 4, C equal to minus 9. Similarly, 2y equal to x. Brought to the right hand side, you have to write first x. X minus 2y equal to 0. There is no constant term. A1, B minus 2, C 0. And last one, 3x plus 1 equal to 0. There is no y term, so we will write 3x plus 0y. Since there is no y term, we will write 0y. If there is no x term, you will write 0x. So 3x plus 0y plus 1 equal to 0. A is 3, B 0, C is equal to 1.